Gửi cho anh Murtaza cái video của Hội An ấy. Gần Murtaza có nghe được không?
What I love about Vietnam, the country itself, is the people. They're pragmatic people. They do what they say. They're very honest, they're very honorable people, and they're hardworking people, and they go for it. They don't want to fail. No one wants to fail, but they're ready to do something. And then if that doesn't work, they close it up, that shop, and try something new.
Not good. Naughty, not good.
Yeah.
Very.
This one.
Why is so fake? Not clear.
The flavor of Vietnam is so diverse from north to south, within 100 kilometers. So with the mountain and the beach within reach, the whole package is here.
In between the South China Sea and the Laos and Cambodia borders, Vietnam is a land of striking landscapes, ranging from the lush rice terraces and forested mountains in the north to the picturesque valleys of the Central Highlands and the fertile delta and beautiful beaches of the south. Included in the mix are booming cities, colonial towns, traditional villages, and otherworldly islands. Here's a look at the best places to visit
When you have
in
fresh,
Vietnam.
incredible nutritional food, you want
Because we have 3 minutes more, people are entering because we started early to waiting all other people. So far we have 30 people.
Number 10. Dalat. Year-round cool weather and idyllic scenery of misty valleys, lush pine trees, and colorful flowers are some of the reasons that Dalat was once used by Vietnamese emperors and French colonials as a summer retreat. Today, this charming town in the south-central highlands of Vietnam is a popular destination for those looking for relief from the heat. A walkable city, Dalat is a beautiful scene of French colonial architecture and villas set amid picturesque landscapes. Number 9.
Let me show you the other one, sorry. She sent me the one video link. Probably.
Murti,
Yeah.
please unmute Mr. Vietnam Embassy.
Okay, 1 minute, please. Okay. Only 2 minutes. After this video, okay? Sure.
Vào máy tính, vào điện thoại.
Hello, welcome everybody. Let me open our embassy from Ankara. Sir, I just did unmute. Sir, Mr. Koyang, yeah, I did.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome. So many people entering, sir. I will do also on the Facebook Live. Okay, in maybe I can start on the Facebook Live with the videos. Then I will start the welcoming all of our friends from all over the world. Okay, so many people entering. 2 minutes we will be on live on the also Facebook. Okay, sir, Mr. Dan. Then we will start it. Let me start it also on again the video. Just a second, please. I don't know.
Anh đang học Thảo ơi. Anh đang học, anh đang học. Anh đang học. Em vào link đi, em vào link học với cả tên đi. Bay ở toàn cầu mà
Dan,
cũng
please
hay.
unmute. Dan, please unmute. In a minute, we will be on live. Let's see. We should be on the Facebook also online. If any technical issue, they contact me. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we are in Vietnam, one of the best hospitality around the world. If anybody been to Vietnam, I will ask their feedback. I've been to several times in Vietnam. One of the best hospitality, smiley people, helpful people. They have very good honor, you know. And if you want to do the business, you should do the business with Vietnam people. I've been many times, and I always want to go again and again and again. After coronavirus, I will go again to Vietnam because Vietnam is one of my dreams countries. Today we have many good speakers, and we have a presentation about the Vietnam, and we have also the lucky draws to Vietnam. I mean the Famtrip. Today we have our Turkey, Ankara ambassador, Mr. Trang Kuyang. If I'm not spelled wrong, sir, I'm sorry. You know, he's here with us. I just make unmute to you, sir. Please unmute your videos. Unmute, please, sir.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Murtaza.
Thank
you
you
for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you. And
Chào anh
Mr.
Tiến
Dan is here.
đại sứ.
Mr. Dan is here from Travelshop Vietnam, and Vietnam Airlines will be. Is he here, Dan? Is he enter Vietnam Airlines? Please check them the names. You know, if he's here, then we can make them unmute. Miss Tring, the name, Deputy of the President of the Hanoi Tourism Association with us, and couple of other speakers with us. I will give them the Mr. Dang. He will explain them their names very well, better than myself. Maybe I will try to give them our ambassadors. Maybe he can welcome all of you to be here. Sir, please tell us about the Vietnam. And we have many operators, different countries. So far, we have 105 tour operators from all around the world. Yes, please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Murtaza. Thank you for having me. I got the invitation from Travelshop. I'm very happy to talk with you, all of you, about Vietnam. But to talk about Vietnam, situation in Vietnam is not easy for me because now I'm not in Vietnam, I'm outside Vietnam, I'm in Turkey. But anyway, I can talk about Vietnam from the point of view of people who from outside looking at Vietnam. So I'm very happy to say that Vietnam now, as you all know, got a very good reputation after COVID-19. I think that the COVID-19 is not past yet, but at this moment we got very successful in fighting COVID-19. So talking about Vietnam after COVID-19, I think that I may say about the image of success of Vietnam in fighting COVID-19. As you may know, that until now, Vietnam went through 3 phases in fighting COVID. As you know, that the first phase, when the first case come back from China. During that time, he in fact, from Wuhan to Vietnam and recognized and got the disease and hospitalized on January 23rd. So the first case realized on 23rd. During this phase, Vietnam's very early realized that it's a serious situation, dealing with some kind of new pandemics. So we carry out on some very early measures, and you know that until the WHO declared that it's really a new pandemic to the world. During that first phase, Vietnam have got only 16 cases, and this is the period of time that we pay attention those the case coming originated from China. And after these 16 cases, Vietnam got a period of time about 20 or 22 days without new cases. So we think that seems it's a good for us. But when the patient 17, as you remember, appear, come back from tourist trip from England back to Vietnam, and it's affected to the area in the Chupac area, and you see that situation now come to a different place. That the government and people realize that this period of time, the people understand that the origination of the pandemic not coming from China only, but from many other countries. From many countries. So it means that the tourists maybe coming from outside to Vietnam also be a cause for the pandemic. So we also pay attention about this. And the third phase is you may realize that when Bạch Mai Hospital and Budapa in Ho Chi Minh City, we understand that this phase will dealing with the risk from community spread is very high. So after these three phases, we understand that the pandemics is really dangerous and very serious. So the government carry out own policy and measures to dealing with this. And as you know that until now, it's very happy to say that we are one of the countries that very small number of the cases. Until now, only more than 300. As far as I know now, the number is 332 cases without with no death, no fatality. So I can say that it's a very happy to say that Vietnam very success in dealing with COVID-19. So talking about the Vietnam status after COVID-19, I think that until now people can imagine and see the image of the successful of Vietnam in dealing with the pandemic, and people talking about how Vietnam can deal with this. What is the reason behind the success of Vietnam? And you may see that behind this success of Vietnam, I can say that because our government realized it's very early about the pandemics and early awareness of the pandemics, and we have appropriated and drastic measure to dealing with it. And I can say that proactive prevention by the government, and I can say that also we get success in dealing with this because of support from the people. People following the government and with proactive prevention and control and policy and measure taken by the government with the support from the people, and people proactively following every activity and following instruction guidance by the government. So I can say that Vietnam gets successful because we have a very right policy and very good protection, proactive, and we may say four solutions that we carry out during that during this time is to have a quick strategic testing to see how it happened and how the affecting by the positive cases. We have aggressive tracing, so we can limit it, the area of the cases and have a good protection and good measure to dealing with those cases. And we also have including effective public communication campaign so that people understand the government's policy, the government guidance, and following the government policy. And we can also saying that we also have a very swift development of testing kits. And talking about the testing kit of Vietnam, you may know that it's a very successful, and many countries realize, and also realized by WHO and EU, so that we can use it in many areas and have a very good test, very quick test results, so that they can have a good measure to dealing with it. So talking about the success of Vietnam, we think that status now we should focus is on how people, how Vietnam can go into a new normal life. Because talking about status Vietnam after COVID, that we should talking about how people can turn into the new normal life in all fields, in social side, social life, and in community. To talking about this, how the normal life happening now in Vietnam, maybe our colleagues from Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City and people in Vietnam can tell more about this. You can tell more about this later. But from here in Turkey, I'm following the life in Vietnam through media and on TV, and I see that it seems the lives are coming back. We open the office, restaurant, shop, everything, and the traffic also very busy now.
Yes.
Like it's no more before. That the normal life also coming into the foreign relationship and how to carry out the relationship between Vietnam and other countries. As you know that because of the pandemic, all the activities are almost postponed and cancelled, everything. But now, at this moment, the new life is coming. We see that in foreign relations, we have to carry out it. We, especially Vietnam, as you know, that as the president of ASEAN group, so we have been proactive and swift coordinating joint response of ASEAN members. As you, if you follow the situation, relationship between Vietnam and ASEAN countries, you know that by the end of March, we, as a president of ASEAN, we host the first teleconference of ASEAN Coordinating Council Working Group on Public Health Emergency. And we also have, after this, we also have various kinds of telephone conference between senior officers of ASEAN and the United States, with any other partners like China, Japan, South Korea, and we also engage in partners of ASEAN in curbing the spread of pandemic. So we're sharing our experience how to deal with the pandemics. And as you know that if you follow the situation, look at the news, our leaders, Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, have talks on phone and video conference with various leaders from many countries, like leaders from China, from Russia, from United States, from Japan, South Korea. Our Prime Minister have talks on phone and video conference. So I mean that for the new normal life in doing foreign relationship between Vietnam and other countries, we also have a new way to carry out our relationship with other countries. So I think for the new life in other fields like economic and trades and people interaction, you can see that in recently on June, just a few days ago, Vietnam ratified the EVFTA, the free trade agreement with EU that expect to energize the country's manufacturing sector and export, so and to recover from the effects of the pandemic. And I think that it's the right time for Vietnam when it's on the path for economic recovery after the months of close due to the COVID-19, as you know. So, but one of the other thing people can how the new normal life come to the travel, how to the travel can come to the normal life for people, not only in Vietnam, but between Vietnam and other countries. And as you know, just 2 days ago, the government said that Vietnam is looking to resume international flight to and from the countries who had no coronavirus for 30 days. Including some countries like Japan, South Korea, Cambodia, Laos, and some other countries. And I think that people looking for how to dealing with to reopen the flights between the countries. The people are looking for that so that we can make it convenient for us. And now I think that for Vietnam, we also looking for step by step to reopen the flights between Vietnam and some countries. And talking about the new normal life between Vietnam and other countries, I think that I cannot forget to say how the normal life in relationship, in promoting relationship between Vietnam and Turkey.
Yeah.
As you know, the situation in Turkey, maybe Mr. Murtaza also give some addition for me, but you know, the situation in Turkey also is very positive now from a very serious situation in the top 10. Turkey with very at the peak of the coronavirus situation in the early every day about 4,500 to 5,000 new cases every day, and more than 100 deaths every day. Now it goes down only less than 1,000, just some hundred, and less than 20 deaths every day. So situation under control and the prevention is very positively now. And as you know that the government of Turkey also have measure to reopen some activity for social and community. Starting from the 1st of June, Turkey also allowed the restaurant, cafe, park, sport facility to reopen since the 1st of June. And just a few days ago, it was President Erdogan also saying that they also released and lifting some strict measure for the old age. As you know that during the pandemic time, the old age over 65 years old and the children under 18 have to stay at home without going out. And from now on, the strict measure also lifted, and the old ages can going out for a few hours from 10 a.m. in the morning until 8 p.m. And the children under 16 also can going out with, of course, with accompanied with their parents. And some other facility like a cinema, theater, and wedding home will also be open from the 1st of July. And the government of Turkey also thinking about restarting the new normal life in Turkey. And I think that we also thinking about how the travel to and from Turkey, because to say about the new normal life, we're thinking about how the travel will be easier for us to travel. And as you know that starting from June, the 1st of June, all internal flight, domestic flight started inside Turkey, and for international flight, it's starting from yesterday. Exactly, I may say, starting yesterday with the flight to United Kingdom, and within this month, some other flights also reopen, like the flight from Turkey to China, to Russia, to Japan, and some other to Germany, to Netherlands, and some other will be reopened. In fact, the flight to UK, Germany, and Netherlands already opened from yesterday. And for the flight for other countries like to China, to US, will be open by 20 or something. So I mean that the international flight from and to Turkey will be open, and the government saying that they are negotiating with more than 40 countries to reopen the flights between Turkey and the other countries. So I think the new life will come back soon whenever the government to reopen and make it convenient for travel. Saying that with the success of Vietnam, when we come to the new normal life in Vietnam, we also pay attention how to make it very carefully and extremely cautious to think if the second wave of COVID-19 come back, because as you know, the situation in some country going to a positive situation, but situation still going worse in some other countries, like in South America, in Africa, and some other countries. So we should not be have a subjective thinking, or you should be careful with subjectiveness. Be careful of the second wave of COVID-19 might be come back. How to deal with this? So saying that, I think that anyway, until now, after the COVID-19, Vietnam stays us in a very positive point, and the new normal life is coming back to Vietnam and many countries. And I would like to say that with the new normal life come back is for tourism is what we are discussing about today, and I'm hoping that with normal life coming back, we can say that Vietnam still a charming destination. But after COVID-19, I may say one more word, that Vietnam still a safe, charming destination, so that we can come to Vietnam with such experience and with success dealing with COVID-19. And whenever we come back to normal life and reopen tourism to for the foreign tourism come to Vietnam, we can find it as not only the charming destination as you mentioned, but also a safe, charming destination. So with that, I wish that we'll have a very positive and active discussion today how to dealing and to reopen our normal life and to attract tourism come back to Vietnam. And I know that Travelshop also thinking about how to open a program and Famtrip for the coming month. So I hope that you can share with us information about that. Again, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a couple of questions, and later on, the end, the program, I will open the chat program to all our friends. They will ask questions too. You know, I've been in India several times, sorry, Vietnam, many times. Each time, you know, I feel very comfortable in Vietnam. I learned the better hospitality, you know, people, sightseeing. So right now, we have many people here online. more than 140. They are not all from Turkey. They are all around the world. Okay, but I would like to ask you, okay, why people they should travel to Vietnam? One question. Second question of mine: how many UNESCO sites in Vietnam? UNESCO. Do you have any idea? I know, just you know, you're not part of the tourism board, but you don't have to answer that question. Maybe roughly you can say. Two questions is mine now, but after I have a couple of questions, I will ask you later on. Yes, please, sir.
Thank you for asking your question. Why people should go to Vietnam now? I think, as I said,
Not now. I mean the general. Not now. I mean the general. You know.
in general,
Yeah.
Vietnam is as a beautiful country. Of course, people proud of their own country. But for myself, of course, I'm proud of my country. And you can find a beautiful country, a beautiful landscape with heritage sites and many UNESCO realized heritage sites in Vietnam. Natural also, and also thanks for historical site also. And you can find from the north to the south many beautiful landscape with the long coast. We also got a very beautiful beach, and we have got very warm welcome and very friendly people. And I think that go to Vietnam in general, it's also very attractive. But at this moment, after pandemic, Vietnam have you can see and realize the successful of Vietnam dealing with the COVID-19, and it will be very charming destination and safe destination for you.
Yeah. Thank you. So
maybe my colleague from Vietnam can add more some more information situation now in Vietnam.
yeah, I mean we have right now the 142 tour operators all around the world. I request from all of them that they should promote the Vietnam. I think Vietnam is one of the highlighted countries and destinations for touristic destination. I'm requesting all my colleagues who's online now and many people also watching on our Facebook on live. I request from everybody that they should promote Vietnam. Okay, sir, please stay if we have time. Okay, we have I think the Vietnam Airlines managers is here. Okay, just a second, please. Thank you for your great speech. Tan, please unmute. Vietnam Airlines, is he here? Is he came?
He has internet problem, but he will come back later.
Okay, any other speakers are online? So
You can call Mr. Nge. Is he here?
he
Is
should
he
be.
here?
Yeah, please unmute, sir. We already unmute him.
Yeah.
So I make it the co-host. Please, I make unmute to him. Done.
Mhm.
Is he online?
Chị vào được chưa? Đến lượt chị đấy. Vâng. Can you find her? Miss Nge, the Hanoi Tourism Board. Yeah.
We already
Can you
make
please unmute her?
we already make an unmute to her. She need to do herself.
Okay.
Done. We already did
Yes,
her.
madam. नहीं
Hanoi Tourism Board. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm just checking again to her. Okay, because we already did.
ऐसे में टाइम पास कर रहा था, बनाया एक ऐसे ही just for के भाई कैसा लगता है अच्छा है क्या.
We did unmute to her. Hello, Trinh T Mai.
मतलब
Can
ये
you
तो
hear?
खाली पिक्चर तो खाली इलस्ट्रेशन के लिए है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है.
Then we already did hers, but she need to make her unmute. Unmute herself.
Even
I also you are the host. You can also make it unmute her. Mary, you can also do it. You are also the co-host.
hello,
Yeah,
Miss
internet.
Nge.
Hello, everybody. I am Miss Mỹ Nghệ. It's from Hanoi City Tourism Association.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, I'm very happy to receive some invitation from Travelshop.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought emotion compression to global economic session, inclusion to include tourism. And up to now, Vietnam has experienced more than 50 days without new case. The district has been under control, and we are focusing on strategy and solution to promote tourism development under the program. Launch of Ministry of Country Sport and Tourism, Vietnamese men traveling to Vietnam. And one more good news, the Prime Minister decided to reopen some international routes starting from July in 2020. At this moment, we are proud to tell you a message that Vietnam is safe.
Safe.
Yeah.
Trent, right now, we have more than almost 150 tour operators all around the world, not only from Turkey, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your message, okay? Let me ask you the couple of questions, okay? Do you, any international flight to Vietnam, Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, if any of my colleagues here from all around the world, if they have any group, do you think they should be feel comfortable to send you to Vietnam? Please.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. It's open, friendly, the contact with Vietnam in Travelshop.
No, generally, any sightseeing or museum open because around the world, many museums are many airports closed, many restaurants closed, many nightclubs closed. Please tell us, generally the all Vietnam, okay? This kind of information we need it, please. Please.
Okay.
Please, yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello.
You close to your camera. Please also open your video.
Okay.
Yes.
The internet is traffic. Yes.
Good. Yeah, please. Did you get my question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I research your question.
Dan, can you explain my question to her?
It is not clear to me too. Can you repeat?
Dan, my question is, we have many tour operators on the Zoom meeting now, okay?
Yes.
Around the world, many museums are closed, many restaurants closed, okay? And bar, club are closed. What about in Vietnam? Do you understand what I mean? She should tell us, to all our colleagues. And if any of my colleagues from all around the world, if they have any group to Vietnam, they should be comfortable to bring the Vietnams, okay? Please explain to her.
Yeah. Có nghĩa là bây giờ
open now in Vietnam.
chị nghe có hiểu không chị Nghệ ơi?
My friend told me that he's now go to a cafe, restaurant, and bars. Normal life come back as normal. They don't enjoy. Also, the trip is out of the way, everything.
Tring.
I'm sorry, it's a mistake for the internet.
No, it's okay.
Now better, I think.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the question. Is that now in the Vietnam is almost a bar and club and the entertainment are open again. What's in mass?
And you already open or you will open again, you know? Please tell us a little more information, you know.
Ý của anh Murtaza nói là bây giờ nhiều nước trên thế giới là họ cũng đang đóng cửa, nhưng mà một số những cái công ty du lịch ở đây họ có khách muốn vào Việt Nam ấy, thì họ đã vào được chưa chị? Họ có vài group.
It depends on the flight, international flights.
Many flights to international is cannot open and now because for arrival is
And her, she have very bad connection. Vietnam Airlines here, maybe she can recontact again to our questions.
Not yet. He try. Not yet.
Okay. Maybe you can do your presentation, done. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I already make a go-host. You can share this your screen and make them your short presentation. By that time, Tring will be here, and we will start. Please go ahead your short presentation about the beautiful Vietnam.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to thank you, Mr. Tuyen, our ambassador, Vietnam Embassy in Turkey. And secondly, I would like to invite to thank you, Mr. Nge, the Vice President of Hanoi Tourism Association, and also the Chairman of Quảng Nam Tourism Association, and also our host partner in Quảng Nam, in Hội An. They are very supportive to us, Travelshop. And finally, I would like to thank you, Murti. very happy to do this, because we want to reactivate. To improve our morale, and also the motivation is important. And we have a plan for Vietnam tourists in coming to Vietnam long time ago, and we plan to do it in April workshop, but unfortunately due to virus from China, and we postpone until September. So let me firstly explain a little bit about the place we are going to organize. And I come back before presentation. I come back to the question of Murti about how many UNESCO sites in Vietnam. We have totally eight UNESCO sites.
Very good.
There are two nature UNESCO sites, and the other five is artificial, and one is mixed. It's newly recognized. So our place, we are going to organize a workshop, also the UNESCO site, Hội An. Let me list 8 UNESCO sites. Firstly, we have to say to nature. UNESCO site like Phong Nha, Cái Bàng is a very beautiful place. National park, and there are a few recently discovered, and it's one of the biggest cave in the world. And the second nature UNESCO site is Hạ Long Bay, where you can see 2,000 islands in Hạ Long. It's emerald water, beautiful, and one of the best thing you should see before you die. Yeah, okay. And there are a few more UNESCO sites, but due to the historical and culture, and they also recognize UNESCO. like Thăng Long Royal, Citadel, Huế, Ancient Capital, and Hội An.
Dan, one
Yes.
second, please. Somebody send me a text message. Yes, for sure, we will open the chat for all our colleagues. They can ask questions to you and our ambassadors. Somebody send me a text message.
Okay.
We will open the chat program later on. So I like to announce that.
Okay.
Thank you to all questions they asked. Sorry.
I make very quick. Okay. Hội An and also the Mỹ Sơn, the ancient capital of Cham. So you will see that in Vietnam we have 8, so a lot. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for me to explain you a little bit about our plan for the workshop in September this year. Could you wait with me 1 second, very quick. Okay. Everybody can see this?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the B2B networking workshop and Famtrip, Travelshop Turkey and Travelshop Vietnam has planned it for it long time ago. So you will see that this workshop will be organized by Travelshop Vietnam with its partner and with very strongly support by Travelshop Turkey. And we also have strongly support from the Vietnam National Tourism Administration, because he turned the light for us to go ahead with the workshop. So we believe that this workshop will become true in the future, in September. So let me explain a little bit about us. Travelshop Vietnam really want to announce you our B2B networking workshop, where we see that the place where we find the tourist partner and hoteliers and restaurant, airlines, and MICE company in the workshop. This is a very, very good opportunities for you to come and meet the real tour operator, the real hoteliers, and the real restaurant airlines in Vietnam. And it's very supportive. They are very supportive and they are waiting for you to come. So actually, we have experience in doing this kind of business. We do it in Turkey, in Cyprus, in Dubai, Albania, India, and in Vietnam recently for the recent 3 years. Okay. So as I said, workshop objectives is to connect suppliers and buyers with the best Vietnamese tour operators and the packages in the market, where we can build a viable and secure partnership with Vietnamese stakeholders, and you will understand, spot the new marketing realities and the new world travel. Okay, so we plan for in the mid of September in Vietnam, and as explained by the ambassador, we hopefully that the international flights will be open very soon. You know, in Vietnam we have no more virus, you know, in the communities for almost 2 months. People now can talk, can meet, can have a meeting, can talk with each other, and can go to work as a normal life. But you know, tourists from outside the world, outside Vietnam. So hopefully that will be September will be the right time for you to come and see our country. Okay. Here's our tentative plan for series of workshop. But I hope that you can enjoy the workshop with us in Vietnam. Okay. So here's some further explanation, but it may take time for me to explain. However, my friend Murtaza will send you this presentation. And then I would like to leave the ground next for the Quảng Nam Tourism Association because they will explain you further about the provinces, the very beautiful Hội An ancient town. Okay, when you come to workshop, you will see the airlines, local travel agency, hotel, and I mean everything needed for the purpose. And we also mapping some farm trip for you to see also. So you will see that we have different farm trips that Murtaza will announce to you. You will see all the best of Vietnam and also some neighboring country like Thailand, and also we do some part of UNESCO site Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Okay, so the presentation is quite long. I don't want you to waste your time, and my friend will send to you by email our presentation. Now I would like to leave a presentation next to our friends partner in Hội An, where we'll host you to Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Dan, please stop sharing. Then
Yeah.
please stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Dan, can you please unmute our colleague? You know, if she's here or if he here, so they can do the speech. Say unmute because you are co-host.
Waiting for Mr. Tang from Vietnam Airlines, who will tell us more information about how international flight
Correct.
will open. We are expecting.
Correct. If he came, Vietnam Airlines came, Dan?
He's in traffic now. Sorry, he said sorry.
It means that the traffic in Vietnam.
I think Tring is she's online. Do you think she got a good internet connection, Trint? Trint? We lost her.
Anh Nam à? Mira Stella. Stella.
Stella, where is Stella?
Stella? Is that Mr. Quân when we talk about that?
Stella, you are on mute here.
Who?
Stella?
Stella.
Mr. Thủy. Yes, next is Mr. Thủy from the Quảng Nam Association.
Where's he?
Represent Mr. Thủy.
Is he here?
Yeah, Mr. Nguyễn Sơn Thủy from Quảng Nam Tourism Association. Represent Hội An to the buyer. Mr.
Please make unmute. Please make unmute.
I saw him.
Sir.
giơ tay giùm em với Thủy.
Yeah, I saw him, but his
Sir,
microphone is unmute.
Can you make them unmute, sir? You are a host now. Can you make him unmute?
Thủy ơi, anh giơ tay giùm em với.
Yeah, I make you to go host too. Stella, can you make him unmute?
Rồi, yeah.
No.
Is he here?
Do it again.
Sao gọi cho Thủy ơi.
Anh Thủy, anh unmute chứ.
Anh Thủy ơi, anh mở cái micro lên đi anh Thủy.
Can
Anh
you
đang
make?
mở để mở.
Ok, được rồi, được rồi. It's okay now.
Okay. Thank you very much for your invite us to join today. We are the Quảng Nam Tourism Association in Hội An. We are the host your event. The October. So we are one of the buyer from the worldwide coming to Hoi An after COVID. You know, at the moment, Hoi An city come back to the normal. At the moment, the Vietnam government they closed the border for the international, but for the domestic traveler is very normal. So at the moment, the domestic tourists come to Hoi An step by step and crowd up shortly in the future. And now mostly the hotel and the restaurant open on. And at the weekend, sometimes we full the booking. So that's it, the situation, the tourists in Hoi An right now. And besides our also had many practice and promotion for the old nationality. And right now we also had some meeting with the Travelshop, discuss about how to organize how to host the event in the future. And we think at the moment something everything already for your events in Hoi An, and we only welcome wait for your coming. Yes, and you know, we also share our clip include on the sightseeing, the activity with the admin. So please share to all of you on the meeting right now.
Yeah. Do you think that, you know, when they come normal in Vietnam for tourism industries, many people wondering, you know, a lot of maybe a lot of people have an inquiry and they don't know what they can do. Please tell us also, you know, more about. Can you hear me?
Sorry.
I mean, right now, if anybody have groups to Vietnam, do you think they should send you to their group or they should wait? When is the tourism will come on normal in Vietnam? Can you hear me?
Not much clearly.
Let me ask you. Yeah. I mean, when is the Vietnam tourism will come normal? To understand. I mean, when
Yes.
they receive the international flight, airport will open. When that will become normal? Hello.
Sorry, I cannot understand more clearly what you asking.
My question is, okay, when is the Vietnam airport open? Okay, if anybody have an inquiry, they should make any reservation to Vietnam. When they will start?
At the moment, mostly the airline they submit to the government to open the border, the flight, international flight, since the 1st of July. But the government not final decision, so we have to waiting right now. But the government consider to accept for some nationality countries who safe with the COVID, like Taiwan, Korea, and some of the countries in ASEAN. So I think the government will step by step to accept some countries who safe with the COVID on the first period. But I think the world, if the situation of the COVID is safe on the more countries, the government will accept to open more the countries to until from now to September. I think so.
Yeah. Do you think that my other question, the Vietnam Tourism Board, I mean Vietnam government, they will open the board the first the Asian country, then the European, then the other countries, or are they planning any plan?
No, I think cannot accept all the nationality, because if we don't have the new vaccine successful coming, so I think that the government will accept for the collective countries first on the first period opening.
Okay. Let me open the chat, sir, Dan, because many people ask me the questions. And if anybody have a question, please type on the chat program so we can read it to them, so we can get answers. I just opened the chat program for everybody. If anybody have a question, please type it here. Anybody have questions? Because they send me on my WhatsApp. I get a couple of questions, but yeah. Is there any language problem in Vietnam? Rajendra asked. Dan.
No.
Yeah. If they have any language problem in Vietnam.
No. Language in Vietnam, a lot of people can speak English.
Okay.
So no problem.
Second question. Do you think the travel cost will be increased compared with before the COVID-19?
No. You know, in this period of time, the government encourage the local agency to reduce the price, including hotels, including everything to increase the
Let
demand.
me tell 10% discount from Mr. Dan. Okay. Another question, Tina, right? We have a group of 50 entrepreneurs from the Nigeria that want to visit Vietnam in September. Can we still make the trip this year, considering the COVID? And what will be now the measure of the visa application? Maybe our ambassador can give answer, sir.
We are welcome.
Maybe our ambassador can give answer to that.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
Some problem with my microphone is not clear.
The question is, we have a group of 50 entrepreneurs from Nigeria. There are 50 people from Nigeria that wanted to visit Vietnam in September. Can we still make the trip this year, considering the COVID and what will be now? Will the measure of visa application? I mean, 50 people wants to come to Vietnam, they have a visa application. You know what they can do? How they can?
I think for at this moment, it's you can apply for visa. Depends on whenever you have a flight, and the processing for the visa, I think as normal. Whenever you have the policy to open for the international tourists coming to Vietnam. Of course, whenever we open the international flight for every country, it means that the visa policy should be going along with this. Because whenever you open the flight, the people enter the country, they must follow the visa policy. So I think you can apply visa as normal whenever the flights come back.
Yeah. Sir, and I maybe done another question. For example, is French influence still exciting in Vietnam, especially Hanoi? Tan?
Hello?
Tan, can you hear me? Can you read them the Rajendra Hardrak question? Tan?
Yes.
Yeah, Rajendra Hardrak asking, for example, is French influence still existing in Vietnam, especially Hanoi?
The question not clear to me too. Can you
Okay.
repeat?
Please read it yourself, Rajendra Hardrekar.
French influence. No, no. I read again the question. Is French influence still existent in Vietnam, especially Hanoi? Long time ago, yes. The question is yes. But now, no more French influence. Only some we still keep it, like bread. We still eat bread. It comes from French. But nobody speak French. Yeah, nobody
No,
speak French.
some people still speak French. Talking about the influence of France, I think that, but in what kind of extent you say about influence? Because if you say the cultural influence, I think yes. What kind of influence? If there's some kind of interaction between people and people, yes. People love French. French people love Vietnamese. Vietnamese love French. Of course, about language, as Mr. Tang said, previously more and more people speak French, but now English more popular. French still, there are some people who speak French, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, German, every kind of language. But now, French language, not influenced as the English language, I can say.
Yeah.
But as he said, just influence in general is difficult to say. Yeah, it's difficult to say. In some how to say architecture, you can see some kind of French architecture in Vietnam, like opera house, and even some buildings and presidential palace. Some architecture, French influence, we still keeping. It's a good, how to say, very good architecture.
Yeah. Dan, please read them all the questions because we have got some of our voice problem.
Yes.
I think the Rosa Ling here. Rosa, can you hear me from the Singapore? Rosling, I just open your voice. Rosling asking currently which countries tourists can enter the Vietnam. Rosa Lind asking. Dan.
Okay, Rosalind.
I don't know yet. It depends.
Hello everyone. Before answering all the questions here, I would like to inform you that I just have a call from the General Director of Vietnam Airlines. He's on the car, but he said Vietnam is ready. I mean, Vietnam Airlines ready to reopen the international flights, but not to all the country. Only to some country that pandemic has been well controlled.
Yeah.
But you know, the most important that the timing and the policy will be decided by the government, and it will be sent informed to you later. At the moment, we can say nothing about the policy, about the control of COVID before during their coming. Not yet, but you know they have a plan to reopen from 1st of July. Okay, and now I would like to answer some of the questions raised when I look at the chat. From Rosalind, currently, which country tourists can enter Vietnam? At the moment, as far as I know, only the government opened the land border only to Laos. So Lao tourists can come to Vietnam only. There are some Cambodia, but still under control. Okay. And how many? Another question from Augustine Barreto. How many travel agents can accept on each farm tours? This will be much depend on the plan. But during the workshop, we expect 150 hosted buyers from around the world. However, we open the Famtrip as optional because some of them may like to go to the north, some may like to go to the south, some may take combined country tours. We will see how many travel agents when we close the booking. Okay. From Ozan Antak. Is there going to be any flexibility for visa process? As I know, the visa is the biggest problem for Vietnamese. Oh, this Mr. Ambassador, our ambassador already answered. Okay.
I think on the visa policy, it still the same, but it depends on the measure of how to say how the people can enter the country. But whenever the border is open, the visa policy going back to normal, you apply as normal. I think don't see any problem. I myself, I think, for example, at my embassy, if Turkish people would like to come to Vietnam now, they can apply as normal, as usual, as before pandemic, no change. But it depends. Whenever you have a flight from here, from Turkey to Vietnam. So for visa policy, I don't see any problem. But the thing is now how we waiting for the flight come back to normal, as the time informed us that Mr. Hiền from Vietnam Airlines said that the normal flight, not all, but some international flight will starting from the 1st of July. So whenever you have a flight to enter Vietnam, you apply for the visa as normal, as you do before, as you did before the pandemic. So I think like you need an application form, 2 photos, the copy of the passport, everything. So I think to apply for the visa as normal. And of course, maybe for processing, because of the pandemic, maybe take a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but maybe, for example, normally at our embassy, they take, it depends, 3 or 4 working days, for example. At this pandemic situation, maybe it take 4 or 5 or 6 days, maybe longer. It depends, but it depends on whenever do we have a flight come and forth between the 2 countries, between Vietnam and those countries you are like.
Yeah.
One question from
Dan, one important question I received on Facebook. Okay, because we are on the live on the Facebook, almost 1,000 people watching. They said, does a foreigner need to be quarantined or upon arrival?
Yeah, the one of the thing. In Turkey, I heard that they thinking about to remove the measure of quarantine measure for those people who visited Turkey, but they are thinking maybe because if you open for tourism, you cannot do the quarantine 14 days. How can they do it for the tourists? So I'm not sure at this moment for Vietnam. I'm not sure about that. It depends on the government policy. But as I say, people also, whenever they come back to normal life, they also be very careful with subjectiveness because of the second wave pandemic maybe come back. If we don't have a right and correct and strict measure to control at the border, at the airport, for those who enter Vietnam, it might be come back to the second wave of pandemic. So, and of course, it depends how they do it. To check some tests. I don't know. It depends on the development of the test kits right away to get the result as soon as possible. I don't know. But at this moment, I don't have information about the policy about this yet.
Thank you, sir. Done. Please check if any questions are ambassadors, then we can ask them any normal question. I will send you all the chat programs to you. You can email it to them, individually. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions are ambassador, please check, and he can answer. The rest, I will send you all the chat program. You can send individually by email, please.
Okay, let me make it very quick. Okay, very quick about one question from our friend Bangladeshi, Mr. Hanif. Mr. Ambassador already answered about the visa for Bangladeshi, like other nationalities. So. Okay, somebody request to send the link presentation. We will send. Okay. Another question, Miss Ange, how Vietnam authority keep the safety for traveler? Is there any SOP to follow on bar clubs, sightseeing places? I think this is a big question, and we need the ambassador to answer you on behalf of the government.
It depends on government. I think that, of course, as I said, by the experience and lesson with success in the recent period of time, we'd like to make it a safe destination for tourism who enter Vietnam. But of course, as I also mentioned, that we also be careful of the second wave. Authority to keep safety for travel in Vietnam now. I think that I personally think that they should the airport to check every people. But how to do it? I think that the authority, the Ministry of Health, and the government taking out the measure, the right measure to do it. But I myself thinking that because check the thermal, how to make the quick test is the best way. Because you look very normal, but how can you realize that the virus inside your body without any symptom? So how can you realize it? It's not easy. I think the only way is that have a quick test. But as far as I know, that the test kits developed by Vietnam are also very good result now. But I don't know how long it will have the result. But the thing is how to do it. To do it is right away at the border. It's not what I think, but I'm not sure. For detail and for specific measure, it depends.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Dan, maybe Özcan, can you hear me? Mr. Özcan Aytaç? I make it unmute. Okay. Do you have any?
Hear you.
All our colleague, you know, in the 1 minute time you have. Do you have any message to all our colleague? Özcan is our manager from Travelshop Turkey. Please go ahead. Özcan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Özcan Aytaç, who is the operation manager of Travelshop Turkey. It's a nice meeting, actually. As I understand that till September there is not gonna be any operation for Vietnam. After September, the biggest, actually, I asked also this question: the visa. You already replied for that. And I hope that it will be more and more flexibility, because the biggest sometimes even we had an issue with Mr. Dan regarding the same policy. Even Ms. Kalinka also is here. Actually, I have seen her also. Hope this will be sorted out, because this is very important for the people who would like to travel to Turkey or to Greece, or who would like to people from Turkey to Vietnam. Vietnam is a good country, but the promotion should be. Actually, Mr. Dan is going to already organize a workshop in Vietnam for all of the tour operators. Hope to start the business shortly. I think middle of July or end of July, beginning of August, we will start slowly for the operation. So good luck for everybody. If there is a question, you can directly get in touch with us also, with Mr. Tan or with Ms. Kalinka or with Mr. Murtaza, so we can reply anything, whatever you need from us.
Okay.
Okay, Murtaza. I want to introduce Mr. Nam. Mr. Nam from Silk Group. Please let him talk briefly about Hoi An and about
you can make, then the unmute, and you are a host, so they can talk.
He's unmute already. Mr. Nam, please.
Mr. Nam?
Mr. Nam?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Mr. Nam. Mr. Nam.
He got a voice problems. Can you hear us, sir?
Mr. Nam has, I think you have an internet problem. I can't see him.
I can see him. He's there, Mr. Nam Trang.
Can you unmute him?
No, he's unmute already. He got a problem.
Anh Nam
không nghe được.
Nam nói được nhưng mà không nghe được ạ.
Ủa, ra anh phải anh phải mở anh phải mở cái
Mute again.
Yeah, we can hear him. Nam, Mr. Nam?
No, not yet.
Họ muốn rồi đó.
Then he got a voice problem.
Yeah. Thế thì có lẽ là điều chỉnh lại sau vậy anh Nam. Anh tranh thủ anh sửa lại xem nào. Okay, Murtis.
Yeah, so we can close down our panel because we already take longer. Okay, so I would like to repeat the workshop. We have a workshop, Travelshop. If anybody come a hosted buyer, we have 3 different categories. One of them is the fully hosted buyer categories, which is we are covering the international flight tickets. Second category is the half, which is we help them the flight ticket. And the third one is the semi. We will cover the land services. If anybody interested in promote Vietnam, please contact with us. Mr. Dan is Vietnam. He will be a very helpful man. He's a supportive man. I would like to thanks to our ambassadors for his great information. I really appreciate it for your great time, and you spent more than 1.5 hours with us. I really appreciate it, sir, to you. You know, you do very helpful to us. Thank you to all of you. I know many questions are here. We will answer by email to every single question. Thank you and goodbye. Please put your hands up to all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief.